You're listening to SDR, the Sunday Times Radio. Culture, music, and beyond.
Carried by Carrie. Hi everyone, this is the Eat Bag Fashion Podcast on STR. These bags are so pretty, you'd want to eat them. This season, we explore iconic accessories. Each episode will explore one of the hottest bags on the market. Today, we dive into the world of Fendi. Turn the volume up. Nestled in the armpit of stars. It is the year 2000. The London Savoy is hosting the Evening Standard's British Film Awards ceremony. All the attendees were dressed very elegantly, but one accessory stood out. A heavily embellished yellow novelty was nestled in the armpit of Madonna. There it was, the first red carpet of the baguette. The bag, not the bread. The overnight success was unprecedented for Fendi. The boom was so big, especially in the pre-social media era. Fendi stores were flooded with requests that they couldn't satisfy. Bear in mind that in the early 2000s, Fendi was not the multinational label that it is today. Fendi was a relatively small family business with only 5 shops worldwide, located in Italy, France, and the United States of America. It was nearly impossible to get your hands on the baguette outside of Italy. The waiting lines grew longer and longer. The ladies had to literally fight for the baguette. They say it was like a live audition for the Ninja Warrior TV show. The hype, which is comparable to today's buzz around the yearly iPhone releases, has cemented and secured the baguette's image as an iconic bag. The first Eat bag. The Fendi Baguette isn't only an iconic bag. The Fendi Baguette is the first Eat bag of modern fashion. As a result, Fendi's revenue exploded. It has reached new dizzying heights thanks to this global success. Some even say that the baguette is the main reason why the group Louis Vuitton Moët Hennessy decided to increase its control over Fendi. After buying a stake in the Italian fashion house in 1999, the fashion French company became a major stakeholder in 2001. What makes the story even more impressive is that the baguette was one of the label's first attempts at handbag designing. Traditionally, the Rome-based house was known for producing fur and leather clothing. The house had made its name by selling coats and shoes. However, the late 90s proved to be a turning point. Sylvia Fendi, the granddaughter of the founders, had joined the family business. A family business that turns 100 years old in 2025. Sylvia wanted to expand the label and came up with an unexpected solution. Having spent her childhood in brands' boutiques and ateliers, Sylvia knew that there was a huge potential to explore. Therefore, she experimented with handbags. Her vision was unique. Sylvia didn't treat handbags as a secondary accessory, but rather as a garment in its own right. A fashion movement. In 1997, Sylvia Fendi was freshly appointed as head of accessories. She was asked to create a minimalistic and futuristic bag to match the aesthetic of the times. The late 90s were known for shiny metallic and heavy black. But Sylvia went for something completely different. For her masterpiece, she studied the New Age movement's interest in craft and ethnic detailing. For those who are wondering, New Age focused on personal transformation and healing. Sylvia was also inspired by her grandmother's 1920 beaded bag collection. Thus, she paid particular attention to fabric choices and embellishments. In terms of functionality, Sylvia wanted to design a bag where women can walk with hands in their pockets just like men. The standard baguette measures 26 by 14 centimeters. It has a small interior, but it is practical and soft. The baguette is recognizable by its short strap, rectangular shape, and interlocking F logo on the clasp. It exudes a sophisticated yet a casual look. The baguette made its first appearance on the fall-winter 97-98 Fendi runway, and there were many variations embroidered, sequined, plain, or striped. Each bag exuded a unique, strong personality. To quote Sylvia,
"The baguette is a fashion movement. It marked the end of minimalism and the beginning of a new era."
It is not a bag, it is a baguette. That new era was debuted by Madonna on September 11, 2000 at the Savoy. The new era was hard-launched a month later on October 8, 2000 during the first minutes of episode 17, season 3 of the popular TV show Sex and the City. The scene opens with Carrie Bradshaw, the famous character played by Sarah Jessica Parker. In that episode, Carrie was lost in New York City. To make matters worse, she was also the victim of a robbery attempt. The mugger demands Carrie to hand over her purple sparkling bag. Scandalized, Carrie replies, "It's not a bag, it is a baguette." A legend was born, sales exploded. And who do we have to thank for this? Patricia Field, the stylist and costume designer of Sex and the City. Patricia leveraged her close friendship with Sylvia Fendi to have access to fashion items and accessories. The baguette was the very first piece that Fendi loaned Patricia to be worn on set. Fun fact, did you know that the purple sequin baguette opened the door to product placement on modern TV series? This TV moment rocketed Fendi into uncharted territories. It made the baguette a household name. After all, the cinema and TV screens influence real-world fashion trends. Wardrobe choices convey social status. They reflect an image that the audience want to project on a daily basis via their everyday style. In fact, many TV characters became fashion icons in their own right, and their looks were copied by their fans. We can cite Jennifer Aniston with Rachel Green in Friends, Blake Lively with Serena Wonder Woodson in Gossip Girl, and Kerry Washington with Olivia Pope in Scandal. Carrie Bradshaw and her eclectic bohemian style was no different. Over 1,000 variation. The baguette quickly became the bag to have for fashion industry insiders and outsiders. Among the celebrities who tucked the baguette under their arms are Naomi Campbell, Julia Roberts, Gwyneth Paltrow, Paris Hilton, and Sophia Loren, to name a few. Sylvia Fendi described her creation in the following terms.
The baguette is a manifesto of identity and individuality.
In order to enable its clientele to find the baguette that speaks to their own style, Fendi had to offer a wide variety of options. Therefore, it released various iterations of the bag. Today, it is estimated that in excess of 1 million people own a baguette, with 100,000 bags being sold in 1997-1998 alone. The baguette has become such an iconic bag that each season it is revisited by introducing new variations and materials. These iterations allow the fashion house to keep on seducing its loyal clients while attracting new ones. The baguette has transcended Fendi. It became a testament to Italian craftsmanship. Under the project titled Hand in Hand, all produced baguettes nowadays are limited series. In fact, the baguettes are created in more than 20 ateliers all over Italy, with each atelier using a specific set of techniques. Thanks to this initiative, ancestral knowledge, which has been honed over decades, is being preserved and transmitted from a generation to another. Since its debut 27 years ago, the baguette bag has had over 1,000 variations. All sorts of materials were used like denim, canvas, exotic leather, raffia, velvet, fur, mink, sequins, and feathers. During that time, countless fabrics, endless colors, multicolored patterns, pearls, tassels, metal threads, and precious jewels ornated this popular bag. Also, the baguette was the object of many acclaimed collaborations. Fendi, Tiffany, and Company. The most noteworthy collaboration is the one between Fendi and Tiffany and Company to celebrate the baguette's 25th anniversary. The newly added version featured the baguette in the signature color of Tiffany, Tiffany Blue. The price was $5,500. This celebration was also the opportunity to experiment with new techniques and innovations in both handbag and jewelry design. A special one-of-a-kind baguette in sterling silver was created using special ancient chiseling techniques. The collectible item is decorated with engravings of lilies and roses, a reference to the national colors of New York and Italy. This bag needed 250 hours of work spanning over 4 months to be finalized. It was a fitting tribute to an important milestone. It is true that the baguette's silver jubilee was a fashion sensation, but its life was far from a smooth ride. The rise, fall, and rise of logomania. The baguette peaked in early 2000 due to the explosion of logomania. People saw in the bag's iconic inverted FF logo a symbol of status. The FF logo stands for Fun Furs. The legendary logo was drawn by none other than the late Karl Lagerfeld in 1965. The baguette became so popular that other brands started to create similar versions. As they say, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. However, the baguette's popularity took a hit for 2 main reasons: the rise of fakes and the decline of logomania. As a result, Fendi discontinued the production of the original baguette in 2004. It may have been the end of the once promising accessory if it wasn't for the vintage market. When the 2000 runways became once again fashionable in 2020, the baguette witnessed a big resurgence. Besides, social media put new life into it. Today, Gen Z is all over the baguette, with stars like Gigi Hadid and Zendaya leading the way. Fun fact, the famous handbag can be credited for the emergence of fashion authenticators. Shortly after its release, the first counterfeit bags started to make their way to the public and clients needed to be reassured. Since then, experts have been attesting the authenticity of expensive bags all over the world. Regarding the Arab world, Fendi's history in this part of the world is quite interesting. Traditionally, the Roman label didn't carry the same weight and impression among the Arab world clientele compared to other European luxury houses. In the last decade, Fendi has put tremendous effort into seducing Arabs, especially Zoomers. Its strategy consists in partnering up with numerous Arab influencers, men and women alike, to reach all age groups and cater for different lifestyles. The selected influencers constantly receive PR packages to be unboxed on their channels. Also, they get invited to all the private events. The lucky ones would even get the chance to attend fashion shows or better, a fashion week, to share some behind-the-scenes videos. To increase its appeal, Fendi started hiring more and more Arab models to walk down their runways. Lately, the roster of unofficial brand ambassadors in the Middle East and the Arab world substantially grew. Like all legacy labels, the 100-years-old fashion house leveraged the relatively new social media platforms to gain immense market share and popularity among the Arab clientele. After being discontinued for 15 years, the Baguette made its great comeback during the spring-summer 2019. On the runway, 2 additional sizes to the regular Baguette were presented. The Mini with its 19 by 11.5 centimeters, the Large with its 33 by 18 centimeters. Also, a Baguette for men was introduced. There was even a Baguette charm, the Pico, a jewel to be hung on the bag itself. Some may consider it as an attempt to cash in on nostalgia, but it can be seen as a statement of intent. Since we're talking of smaller bags, did you know that in the mid-2000s Fendi released the Baguette's little sister, the Croissant? It is smaller and curvier than its famous sibling. It also has adjustable straps. Some may say that Croissant was the predecessor of all the micro and nano bags which became in vogue towards the end of 2010. The bag named after French pastry was a good idea, but the Croissant didn't perform as well as the Baguette. Currently, the hashtag Fendi Baguette has over 677,500,000 views on TikTok. More importantly, the views are translating into retail demand. According to Google Trends, the search for Fendi Baguette has grown over 100% since 2020. Buyers are apparently more interested in the vintage models, with demand growing 6 times faster than the new versions and re-editions. The renewed interest in the Baguette led to a giant price hike. In 2016, a Baguette costed $200. In 2024, it costs more than $3,500. Once again, the Baguette is the right bag at the right moment. And who is better to reintroduce it than Carrie Bradshaw herself? The Baguette France Forever campaign took Instagram by storm. The campaign was set around the world in Singapore, Hong Kong, and New York. It featured international actresses, top models, DJs, dancers, and influencers coming together to seek the Baguette bag. And you guessed it right, Sarah Jessica Parker and the iconic purple sequined bag were there as well. From Carrie to Emily? To mark the revival of the Baguette, Fendi decided to make a nod to the past. In January 2022, the handbag was featured in And Just Like That, the sequel of the popular American drama Sex and the City. Once again, it was tucked under Carrie Bradshaw, the character who propelled it into stardom in the first place. The Baguette isn't looking to leave the spotlight just yet, and it wishes to attract a younger generation. Its latest feature on Emily in Paris did just that. The Baguette has been seen in both episodes 7 and 8 of Season 4. In episode 7, Baguettes are part of ladies having fun playing dress-up scene. In episode 8, the bijou-fringed Baguette was seen tucked under Emily's arm. Emily in Paris is to Paris what Sex and the City was to New York, a welcomed escape from reality. Actually, many see Emily as the Carrie of our times. After all, both women spend a great amount of money, way above their means, on their fashionable wardrobes. Both ladies always steered away from the heavily monogamed version and opted for the more elaborate designs. So if you're willing to invest in Fendi Baguette, how do you know which one to pick? Here are our 2 cents on the matter. Remember that the Baguette is a medium of self-expression. You need to pick the canvas that expresses your individuality best. Ask yourself, what is your lifestyle like? What do you usually put in your bag? What color matches your wardrobe best? What material speaks to you the most? What message do you want to say through your bag? And with over 1,000 variations, you are spoiled for choice. Whether you're looking for something to complement casual day wear, business attire, special occasion looks, or formal evening gowns, you will find the perfect bag. Just take your time to research properly and hunt patiently. It will never leave you. Believe me, your patience will be rewarded. Sylvia Fendi has always said,
Well, the baguette is just like the best friend. It will never leave you.
once you will find the right one, you won't replace it. Well, unless you are Sophia Loren, who has 10 different baguettes and has compared her love for them to an addiction. One is just not enough. With the enthusiasm for Fendi's baguette being brought back by ephemeral trends of TikTok, one might wonder, is the baguette will fall out of favor soon enough, or is it here to stay? Well, everything in fashion is about timing. The baguette story is a great example. It is true that this bag has a great legacy both in fashion and pop culture, so it will never be forgotten. However, fashion comes and goes in cycles. Today it is enjoying a great renaissance after having experienced the lowest of ebbs. Will it go out of style a second time in the future? Who knows? One thing for sure, the Fendi marketing team has a contingency plan. Create the next Carrie moment.